Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Investment Talks with Harmony. Today on the show will be joining us Guldana Saranova from New Brunswick. She is a wife, mother of two, and a real estate investor who turned her immigrant journey into a thriving business. She bought her first property as a fixer upper and she did renovations on it using secondhand materials, which was quite interesting. And she also has a property management company. She now is also a licensed realtor in New Brunswick, and we're going to touch base on a lot of topics today, like how she developed her mindset as an immigrant, how she learned about investing in real estate, building her network, and a bit about New Brunswick real estate market and the journey of building her portfolio. So it's going to be a very interesting, jam-packed episode. Let's dive right into it. Welcome, Guldana, to the show Investment Talks with Harmony. It's a beautiful day here in Ottawa, bright and sunny. I'm enjoying the summers and really looking forward to this incredible day. Welcome again, and how are you doing today?
Hi, Harshit. Thank you very much. I'm doing really great. I'm, as you, enjoying my summer morning, and it's very, very warm here in Dieppe, in New Brunswick, where I'm connecting with you right now. Yeah, and yeah, it feels really nice. The summer is great, and yeah, we are having our portion of vitamin D, having some plans to go to the ocean after this cold
Oh,
kids. Yeah, so yeah, it's really nice. I love summer sunny days.
Yeah, I was watching your some video and you were taking an outdoor walk. So I was like, okay, so she's enjoying the nature. Better I should also go and take my walk and soak in the sun as much as I can.
Yes, exactly. We have to gain our portion of vitamin D for Canadian winters.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not talk about winters right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So to those who don't know, can you tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, where you live, and yeah, just basic introduction about yourself.
Yeah, so hi everyone again. My name is Guldana. I'm a real estate investor, property manager, and a licensed realtor here in Dieppe, in New Brunswick. Um, I have a message to tell. If you are an immigrant and you just arrived in Canada and you are struggling to find your place, I understand you. I've been there, and I want you to know you are not alone. I found my path, my voice, and my confidence within the Wealth Genius community. And today, I'm here to share how real estate helped me create a new life in a new country.
Love that, love that. So for those who don't might not be much familiar, Dieppe is just near Moncton, right? It's the
Yeah,
neighbor. Is it
yeah.
a city or a town?
Dieppe is a city. It's how will be to tell politically correct. It's uh,
Oh,
French city. Like it's a
oh,
neighboring city with Moncton. Actually, they don't have any borders. It's a Greater Moncton, Metro Moncton. So there are Dieppe, Moncton, and Riverview three cities, Tri-City.
oh, very interesting.
Yeah,
And how long have you been living there in Dieppe?
I'm living here since 2023.
2023. Oh, okay, very
For
nice.
2 years, I've been living in Dieppe, and before we lived in Saint John. It's around 2 hours drive from Moncton.
Okay, very interesting. So I want to know about how you started your journey. Like you mentioned, you are an immigrant yourself,
Mhm.
and you have came quite a far um, for an immigrant, because the journey is very difficult starting out. We talked a bit about it earlier before starting that the initial years are very tough. So please share like how you arrived to Canada as an immigrant and where you started from.
I'm immigrant, and I immigrated to Canada in 2019 with my husband and two sons. So my children were young at that time. My youngest was 3 years old, and oldest 7 years old.
Okay.
So we arrived with around $60,000. That's were all of our savings from Kazakhstan. We didn't have any credit history. We didn't have any connections, and we didn't have any real knowledge of Canadian real estate system.
Mm-hmm.
Came here with four suitcases uh, almost 6 years ago, and I still remember this day. It was a dream. It was a dream to come here to Canada and to build better future for my children.
Yeah. Yeah, love that. It's the immigrants that's common with a lot of immigrants. They come with a dream, mindful of hope and desires, and it's a very difficult journey because it's completely new culture, new people, sometimes even new language. Right? People don't know exactly how to speak and translate in English, so that's a challenge in itself. And not everyone realizes that how difficult it is for immigrants to start, but I feel blessed to be in Canada. Like, people are very supportive, very friendly, and very welcoming. So in the initial years, it always helps with the journey. So you moved here in 2019, same as me. I came also in 2019, in September. And where did you arrive in Canada?
So we arrived directly to New Brunswick. So we came here, both me and my husband got a provincial nomination from the province of New Brunswick as a skilled workers.
Right.
So we came here to St. John, to New Brunswick, and that was our first home in Canada. And when we first came, we rented a place for 650,000,
Yeah.
$650. And because in Kazakhstan we never rented place, we lived in our own
You
house.
own the place.
We owned our own house, and we also had several rentals there as
Hmm.
well.
Wow.
It's like basically we already had experience in renting properties in our own country.
Wow.
And but imagine like $60,000 which we brought, it was from the sale of our properties. Uh,
Mm.
the difference of the value of the money here and the value of money in Kazakhstan is completely different. So
Right.
60,000 in Kazakhstan, we could buy, let's say, 2, 3 properties without mortgage for cash. But
Oh,
here,
really?
yes, it is. Yes, at that time. But inflation is also like worldwide, and the price is inflated. Now it's not possible, but at that time it was possible. And we are lucky that we were able to sell our properties and bring like small capital here in Canada. So
Wow.
we realized that like we will not be able to buy renovated house, and at the same time, both of us already were trying to find work and to get some employment, and nobody was hiring us.
Mm.
Well, we couldn't find work, we couldn't find job to do, and uh, at the same time, our savings were like disappearing from
Yeah.
daily, like we bought a car, we bought insurance, and we didn't have Canadian driving licenses. Our insurance was very expensive for both of us, like driving insurance. And we said what, we decided like we are buying a house, we are buying a fixer upper, and we see it as a way to preserve our money.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought our first property with all money what we have, with all
Oh,
our
saving.
savings.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Oh my
And
God.
it was the cheapest property near the school in the city. Like we have our criteria that it should be in St. John, it should
Right.
be near school, it should be near the shops because we had only one car. And in case my husband is taking the car, I have to walk. And
Right.
I walked for with a stroller with a child for no for more than 6 months until we bought the second car.
Oh
Yes,
my.
it's like yeah, I remember these days. I will always remember these days, so where I came from and in what situation I was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very challenging and struggling journey in the beginning years, and at this stage, like we can think about it and maybe laugh a little or smile about it, thinking back
Mhm.
those things. But those were the really tough times, and we need to be persistent and
Yeah.
be focused on our journey. That hey, this is our new life now. So you have
Mhm.
to build your own kind of dream life, and you guys are doing amazing. Coming from there, and you said you are an investor, property manager as well, and you also becoming a real estate agent recently. So
Mhm.
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Looking back, we realized that we were doing everything like not correctly. There is no correct way or wrong way doing things, but we were doing uh, the best what we can do at that moment. Like we used our previous skills, our previous background from Kazakhstan, and we tried to save our money because we became immigrants, and all our skills which we had before in our own country, they no one needed them here in a new country, and it was a new reality. And since that, we now own several properties. We now manage rentals. We help investors grow their portfolios here in New Brunswick. And we also operate an investment company. And my goal now is to help others invest in real estate with confidence. And I think that I can help, especially newcomers and out of province investors, because I've been there myself, and I can relate to everything what newcomers feel. And yeah, like I said, we started everything from scratch. That very old house which we bought in St. John with almost all of our savings, it was a good lesson for us because we couldn't afford contractors.
Hmm.
uh, so we renovated it ourselves. In Kazakhstan, we hired people. We didn't renovate ourselves because we were busy working professionals
Right.
in a corporation, in a national oil and gas corporation. So
Hmm.
my husband even didn't know how to use a hammer. That's
Wow.
yes. um,
Oh
and
my god.
yeah, and we used second-hand materials and second-hand tools, which we bought on. There was a shop, Habitat for Humanity, on Rosse Avenue in St. John, and we went there every morning to pick up materials. One day, my husband came very happy because he found some new flooring, use it in good condition, new flooring, and
Bro,
this
hit the lottery.
yes, and I felt very happy. He brought used new flooring, and
That's awesome.
the doors were used, not new doors, used doors, old flooring, and the paint. We didn't go to Home Depot. We can't afford going to Home Depot, and we bought used paint,
Wow.
op- with open cans, and we even uh, didn't know. Is it a paint or is it a primer? What it is, we didn't know, but we took it. We will figure out on our like yeah.
How did you figure out like this? I was going to ask this, and I'm glad you brought it up. Like,
Mhm.
you came to a new country and you bought a fixer upper, so you took it in your own hands, the renovation work. But
Yes.
how do you learn that? Like, how was there someone to guide you or help you, or did you? How did you figure it out?
uh, there was no one who was guiding us at that moment. Uh, we are very thankful that we live in the era of technology when we can go to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to YouTube, we completed our renovation. Like there wasn't major work which needed red seal professionals like plumber, electrician. There was already plumbing in place. It's proper plumbing. There was already electrical like in place. It was a good house, but it wasn't taken care of. It needed some love. It
Mm,
was not updated maybe for 20 or 30 years, and there
okay.
was an oil tank. So
Right.
we removed an oil tank, and we installed. Oh, there was no heating in that house.
Okay.
I forgot to mention about it. There was no heating, and we bought also used old wood stove. It is still there in the basement.
Wow. Really?
Yes, and all the winter we were like I'm telling you untold since I've never shared with anyone this before.
Yeah.
Like we removed all this old flooring and all the materials which were like possible to burn. We didn't have
Mhm.
wood to burn, and my husband went to the store. There was a store near our house where they put like used pallets, the broken pallets.
Right. For burning.
Yes, broken pallets for burning. And every night he was burning bringing those broken pallets, and we were burning them. We were using them for wood to
Mm,
keep us warm. And we have only one heat pump. Later, after 2 years, we installed baseboard heaters because at that time we even cannot afford electrician.
mm,
And installing a wood stove was a winter solution for us just to survive this winter, to
right.
survive that winter.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Wow. That's
it's
very you guys have a lot of courage because you had kids as well,
yeah,
and you managed that, and they were very very young at the time, right? So you have to take care utmost care of them as well.
yeah.
Um, wow. I'm just I didn't expect that.
Yes. And we have minimum expenses because we our bill was only for a grocery bill and electricity bill and water bill. And
Right.
yeah, it's like we didn't pay any mortgage, and the materials which we used they were secondhand. So it was difficult. We had no credit, and we were afraid to use our credit card because we had a credit card with $2,000 credit on it, and we
Yeah.
were so afraid to use it
Mm,
because we never used credit cards in Kazakhstan. We used like we
pay up.
earned enough to live and to save, and yeah, and the most important is that we gained the confidence to keep going. And from it turned out that we bought our next property. We didn't finish our first property where we lived. We lived
Mm,
inside the property, and we
right.
bought the second property. And
Okay.
after we bought the second property, um, everything like shut down. The COVID happened,
Right. Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, it's like we didn't
2020.
know what to do. The
Mm,
second house we didn't buy for a mortgage. We bought it. No, we bought it for a mortgage. Like we have a mortgage on it, and
right.
our goal is to was to rent it as soon as we can. And yeah, we it was also similar property. We painted it and we rented it, and that property helped us to survive during COVID because we didn't have job. No one hired us,
Right.
and not only immigrants. Everyone was under the stress how to pay their bills.
Mm,
So that
yeah.
very house helped us to pay our bills. It's
Wow.
like
Very uncertain times. Yeah. No one knew what to do, what to expect, and how to plan, right? And everyone had their hands in the pocket, like saving cash and not
mhm,
spending more than required.
mhm.
So the money was tight at that time for sure.
Yes, it was. And it was like these times were very scary. We didn't go anywhere. We went like in New Brunswick. It's very it was safe at that time. We could go to the parks, and we were not staying in the apartment. We were staying in our own house. You know, like kids were free to go outside. We didn't have so much stress in terms of medical public safety, but
Right.
we were not confident about our future. And then we decided that there is no way we will find work in St. John. And what we did, we moved to Vancouver. We rented our personal residence. So the very house, the very first house
First
which we
house.
Yes, we fixed it and we rented it and went to Vancouver. And that rent helped us to pay the rent. That
Mm.
rental income helped us to pay the rent in Vancouver.
Right.
But to be honest, it felt like a rat race. It
Yeah.
felt, yes, it was like, it is a beautiful city. Vancouver is very beautiful, but we quickly realized how different the lifestyle and the numbers are. We counted. So in order to enter to Vancouver market and to buy the house, we have to work like
A lot.
a
A lot.
lot, a lot, and to we didn't have time for ourselves. Like once my child, my younger son, got sick, and I have to ask every time my manager that I that my son is sick. Like for me it was like, that's the feeling where when I that's the time when I decided that I have to do something, we have to do something to get that financial freedom. Because when your son is sick and you have to ask someone, please let me stay home to stay with my son,
Yeah.
for me it was like, that's ridiculous. I'm trading my time, and at
Mm.
the same time I can't care of my son when he's sick.
Yeah.
That was like momentum. And we decided with my husband that we are not staying in Vancouver.
Mm.
We are we made a plan, like we want to buy another property in New Brunswick in order to come back, because we cannot return to our house in St. John, because both of them are rented. We don't want the tenants to move out, and because we need house, yeah. And
I
for
see.
us it was another like meaningful solution to buy another value add property. And we had a criteria: this property should be less than $100,000, because
Mm.
we didn't have money to pay for down payment. We have to save money for the down payment, that 5% down payment for out of $100,000. That
Right.
was a strategy which we strictly followed. And we eventually bought that house, and we eventually moved back to New Brunswick. And that was the smartest decision. And we are building our future here. And I'm so thankful that I can call New Brunswick my home now. I'm grateful for what we have now and for the nature, and we have ocean, and the winters are not harsh. And yeah, I like to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a couple of things to realize, like to explore different cities, to realize that which suits my need, and everyone has a different lifestyle and criteria of the
Mhm.
ideal place to live, right? So it takes time to explore different places and realize that based on my needs, my goals, and my situation, this
Mhm.
is the best place to continue. And yeah, talking about real estate too, like New Brunswick, it's been very popular among investors, especially during the COVID years, and before that as well. It was much more attractive, and still now this date, it's been going strong. Based on the compared to Ontario, it's more like landlord friendly, I would say. Easier to manage your tenants, and we'll talk more about it a bit later. But just to cover one more point about immigrants, so you shared your wonderful journey, and if someone is new to Canada or just starting out with their journey and trying to figure out what they want to do, what kind of mindset shifts did you do that helped you to grow personally and at a professional level?
Mhm. Harshit, the mindset shift is something that needs to be done immediately. Like
Mm.
it's something very important. And I wish I would knew it earlier, because I started shifting my mindset only recently, to be honest. Because
Right.
when you have this tunnel thinking that that this is the right way,
Hmm.
we don't listen to other um, other people's opinions. Yeah, we have such a small ego that we think we are right.
Mm.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, that's why I'm sharing my journey with public on social media, and opening my heart and sharing my life,
Yeah.
because um, before my mindset was like, nobody needs to know what I'm struggling with.
Mm.
It's just, it's only my business. If I'm sitting in a house with no heating, it's my problem. Like, it was more in a victim position. You know,
Yeah.
like, I was feeling bad that I don't have, that we don't have enough funds to change our situation. But um, the good thing is that my husband always supports me in um, any financial decisions which we make them together, and we made a choice. We have a choice. We had choice to go to rent a comfortable apartment, and we the second choice was to buy our own house with no renovation.
Right. Like a turnkey.
Yes, no turnkey. It was no turnkey. It was the worst house on the street.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was, yes. And like, we had two decisions, and we chose this way. It was not only my decision, it was both of our decisions to
Mm.
do to buy our own house, no matter how bad it is, no matter there is no heating, no matter it is like, it's not livable, it wasn't livable, but we made this choice, and we are responsible for this choice. That's where my mindset started shifting, like, small, with the small steps. I always knew I had to adapt. I always knew I had to master the language. I had to master English, because it's not our first language, and I have to build relationships. We were learning language. We were learning to adapt, but
Mm.
we were not building relationships.
Mm.
You know,
That's very important.
we were closed. Yeah,
Mm.
only two of us sharing to each other what we are struggling, and having arguments about why we are doing it, why
Mm.
we are not going for a picnic when everyone is on a picnic. We are painting the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we are doing flooring, or we are doing, like, the first 2 3 years we didn't have any weekends. All the holidays, when everyone is out exploring the province, we were working. Either we are vacuuming, either we are doing something. We were always doing something. So
Yeah.
we were not building relationships. That's the point. I was listening passively to podcasts. I was like, attending free online events. You know, those free events when they're inviting you, just attend this event, and I
Right.
was only doing free events. I
Mm.
didn't want to spend money on my education.
Right.
I didn't have money to spend. Yeah, and actually, the mindset shifting started when we bought our mentorship. That's when it started.
Oh, okay. For
Yeah,
real estate.
for real estate, because it's something. That's why I'm telling, I should have done it earlier, but we should regret. It was the right time.
Yeah.
And now, thanks to this coaching program, I have built a strong network. Like, with yourself, we are here having this podcast because we are in the same community of like-minded individuals. We can share safely with each other what we are
Absolutely.
doing, and yes, and that's really feels good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so important. It takes courage, to invest in yourself, right?
yeah.
Um, you we attend like people attend free programs, and
Mhm.
part of that is that they tell you a bit stuff, they give you a bit trailer, but after that they say that, hey, if you want more, the bigger picture, more details, I'm doing this program or doing this workshop, and then you'll have to buy and pay for it. and we are like, oh, who needs to pay for it? And me coming from an engineering background, like what we are taught in school as well, that try to find a way. There's always a way to do things, and you can do it by yourself, which is a very positive thing as well. But sometimes we just get in our own way, and that delays our progress, that delays our journey, our reaching to our goal. And investing in yourself, getting educated, I think it's the best decision that anyone can ever make, because it could feel a big amount in the beginning, like you're paying a lot of money, but the
Mhm.
returns that you see compounding over the years, uh, we are like, that's the best thing I ever did, right? As you said.
Yes, and being in the community of real estate professionals also helps to align yourself with what you are doing. Am I doing it the right way, or like before we were running the numbers only in our mind,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
we have this expense, and then we have $200 left. That's what we have. Yeah, but doing it professionally, it's completely different. So now we are using DealCheck, and yeah, it's a professional activity, not activity, a professional job, like
yeah.
being
How
a real estate investor. Yeah.
Yeah, how the pros do, and you learn those techniques, right? And like there's a ton of information on YouTube University. I'm also a student in that university, but it's so much information that we get lost, and it takes a lot of time as well. um, Even about real estate, like
Mhm.
I see a lot of videos, people making about trends in New Brunswick and real estate and investing there. But if you want to get like personal, curated to yourself advice, then you need to talk with a person, or get education from them rather than just watching like free videos, right? It's good for knowledge, but it doesn't push you to take action. So let's talk a bit about New Brunswick real estate market, because I'm very interested in talking about it. um, I've been hearing a lot of articles and reading that it's been changed post COVID. Things were different before that. I see there are a lot of like new build projects going on these days, like bigger constructions. But what are your thoughts on current trends, like being a local resident, local investor, and now also a local realtor there? So, very curious to know what are your thoughts?
Um, I believe current market in New Brunswick is still affordable because it's compared to Ontario and BC, properties here they can still generate strong cash flow.
Hmm.
Like I said, we moved from BC because we couldn't afford buying the rental property.
Right.
And it is still actual, like 5 years later, it is still actual. Even if the prices increase it, market prices increase it, uh, I strongly believe that New Brunswick market has so much untapped potential. Because
Hmm.
the land here is affordable, and the climate is not harsh. Um,
Right.
Government of New Brunswick is opening new quotas for permanent residents. So
Hmm.
I still see a lot of interest from out of province investors. Immigration is growing, and that means demand for rentals is increasing. At the same time, we don't have strict rent controls like some other provinces, and evictions, for example, can happen with 15 days notice, and that gives more confidence to landlords.
Hmm.
So another major factor is that the government of New Brunswick has increased its permanent residency quotas, and this means we are expecting even more newcomers to settle here. More PRs mean more tenants, more homeowners, and a steady demand for both affordable and mid-range housing. Uh,
Right.
for real estate investors, this is critical trend that creates a long-term stability in the rental market.
Mm.
So, there is also lots of new construction projects starting. especially in Moncton and in Dieppe. But there is still a shortage of good rental units because the housing inventory in New Brunswick is obsolete.
Right.
So there is a demand in new built affordable housing, mid-range housing, and to make like the province is taking actions to retain its population and to grow its population. And
Mhm.
real estate is one of the ways to do it.
Wow. Um, you talked a bit about the rent cap and being more like landlord friendly. So I know it's 15 days notice. So if the landlord doesn't receive a rent for the month, then they give a notice, and then within 7 days, the tenants need to respond or pay the remaining rent. And if they don't do that after a week, like in total 15 days, the landlord can evict the tenant from the property, which is huge. Like people investing in Ontario could relate to that. Even in BC, I guess it's not that friendly. So that's very attractive to investors. So not only the lower cost per unit as compared to these provinces, but also these benefits, right? Being more having more control over your project or your property, and getting great appreciation as well is very, very attractive to investors. So about investing, the deal, a major pillar for investing is financing, right? And for people starting out, it's a bit difficult. Like you also talked a bit about it, that they come with limited capital, they have limited savings, and what they can do is raise capital for their deals. So, what strategies would you recommend for like newer investors, people starting out or in their initial years, to raise capital for their deals?
Mhm. It's just from my own experience, what I understood, you don't need a lot of money to get started in real estate. You need a strategy, you need the numbers,
Hmm.
you need the numbers to work. So, like from my own example, what really attracted me to real estate was the idea of getting financial independence in Canada, here in Canada. I didn't want to rely on a single income, and I never relied, even in my own country where I am from Kazakhstan. We never
Right.
had single income. We had our 9 to 5 job, and we had several rental properties.
Hmm.
Allowed us to bring capital here to Canada, because everyone realizes that saving from 9 to 5 is almost not possible
Yeah.
for a family with children. And at one point, I just sat down and I calculated my salary here in Canada. Like because I'm immigrant, I had only $2,000 low wage salary, which I was receiving. Like even not $2,000, it was around $800 biweekly salary. My salary was, so
Right.
imagine 800 plus 800. At that time, it was around 1,600. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I thought, how can I generate $1,600 in order not to go to work? That's
Passive
where,
passive income.
yes, that's where it started. And we started doing the Airbnb strategy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, instead of living in our own house, we furnished it and we started doing Airbnb short-term rentals. So it was an incredible learning experience. We were very busy, from guest communication to operations. Airbnb helped us to boost income in the early stages. But everybody need to realize that Airbnb is an active business. It's like you really need to be involved into this business 24/7, because I couldn't sleep at nights. I have to respond to all my guests, and during the daytime between 11 to 4 p.m. we have to clean the the property. And I was working full time at that time. Like it was like juggling, very
Yeah.
very
It's
very
different.
very
Yeah.
um, not hard time, but intense time. Yeah. And I realized that if I'm going to do Airbnb, I'm not able to level up,
Mm.
because we were all into this uh, into guest relationships, making people satisfied, making sure that the units are clean, and it needs lots of supervision. And if we are
Yeah.
not doing it ourselves, so that if we want to do the other property managers to do it for us, it it doesn't make sense for us doing it, because that 20%, not 20%, maybe around 25% property management fee will eat out all this cash flow which we are
Yeah.
from the Airbnb. And yeah, anyway, it helped us to boost the income and to do more scalable and to do more stable investments. So that's when we shifted our focus to multifamily, and we now target properties that generate long-term cash flow and allow for larger renovations and forced appreciations. So we continue learning. We join webinars, we read books, we watch YouTube videos, we learn about cash flow, we learn about BRRRR, and our favorite strategy is BRRRR,
Hmm.
because it allows us to create that equity which we will be able to pull out later for the next investment property. And the most important is also to buy cheap, to buy 30% less than the market value. Only in this case you would be able to have appreciation and use that appraisal difference value from appraisal to invest into your next
Next
property.
project.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you have to start from a huge multifamily. No, we didn't start from huge multifamily. You can start from a small fixer upper. If you don't have, like I said, when we wanted to buy our third property, we didn't have money. We both worked on a minimum salary, on $2,000 a month for me and 2,000 for my husband. And the days when I was not working, I was receiving only half of this money. And
Mhm.
we were able, even with this situation, living in Vancouver, we were able to figure out uh, how we can buy a property in New Brunswick and to save that first down payment, especially for newcomers. They have great opportunity to buy their first house with 5% down payment.
Right.
Yeah, it's about having right strategy. It's about having clear goal, what you want to do, and it's about being ready to sacrifice.
So
Yeah.
you guys used so you had your first property, and then you kind of used the appraisal value to refinance the property and bought
Yes.
the second one, and then did the same rinse and repeat for buying the third one. So you technically bought one project, and it helped you to scale your portfolio just by appreciation and doing the following the Burr strategy that you mentioned.
Yes.
Wow, very very incredible. And right now, I think you guys are working on a conversion project as well.
Mhm.
That's in St. John.
Yes. It is also in St. John, and we were hunting for this property because, like, the houses are and will be uh, expensive in that city. No, it's not what I wanted to tell. Um, so right now we are working on converting a large duplex into legal 5-unit building in St. John. So
Wow.
we were hunting for this property, and we win our offer. So it's always important to work with trusted realtor who will be working for you, who will be fighting for your deal, who
Yeah.
will be making sure that we are presenting it correctly. And because we were working with one realtor like multiple times, she already knew that if we are making an offer, we are closing the deal, and she trusted in us. And we closed this deal. We bought the property for 120,000. Our
Okay.
renovation budget is around less than 300,000, and after renovation, the appraised value will be around $625,000. So we already made an appraisal. for this property, like after repair value appraisal, 625,000. And if we run the numbers, it's more than $200,000 in equity. That it means we will gain this equity, and we will be able to scale to the next property. We have a strategy. We don't do multiple investments at the same time, because we are like husband and wife uh,
Team.
company, a husband and wife team. We do everything with less risk,
Yeah.
and we don't do stocks. We don't know what crypto is. We just don't know what it is, and it takes time. In order to be professional in something, you need to be professional in one field, and do uh, and grind that field, yeah, and focus on one thing. So that's our strategy. We are now focused on our duplex to 5 units conversion. It also has its own negative and positive lessons which we learn, and I would recommend, if it's possible, if it's allowed, that um, when you are buying these kind of projects, the mistake which we made, we didn't rent it.
Okay.
It's better to rent it, and to have that cash flow in whatever condition it is, just to make it livable, relatively livable, and create make like not a short term but maybe midterm lease, and
Right.
to notify the
Some.
tenants that, yeah,
Mm.
that we are going to convert this unit, and they cannot live there like on a long term. And
Right.
yeah, the holding costs, because the holding costs are expensive. There are
Mm.
architecture costs, holding costs, and it means that you will be bearing all these costs if this property is not rented. That's the biggest lesson which we learned in this project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting insights. And what's the timeline when it is estimated to be completed?
Yeah, we are working on finding funding right now. We are negotiating with a local mortgage broker, and once we get our funding, we have a timeline of 6 to 8 months to complete the property, to complete the renovations in the property, and another 5 to 8 months to refinance it with a conventional mortgage or with CMHC. But probably we will go with conventional mortgage.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. So not a very long commitment. Like the investors can get their initial capital like very soon, like maximum within 2 years, right?
Yeah,
Very conservative. That's
because
very nice. Yeah.
it's like what we learned. We cannot preserve money in the building. Once we keep the money in the building, we are not able to buy our next investment property. And the
Yeah.
most important for us is to invest the way to invest that way, so we will be able to pull out the equity and to invest it into another similar money making property.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Just
that's what we are doing.
the snowball effect, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Very exciting project, and I'm sure it's in a great market. Like St. John's is booming right now. People are investing there, and many of my friends as well. Like they mentioned that those who live in New Brunswick, that they would want to live in St. John, or move there in the future. So very attractive place to find potential good rent tenants as well.
Mhm.
Um, so coming to our toolbox, investor toolbox segment. So give us like two or three tips for someone looking to invest in New Brunswick.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like I said again. It's very important decision to make, and to commit to become a real estate investor. And my goal is to provide a full ecosystem, help investors succeed. And as a local realtor in New Brunswick, I have access to property management, renovation crews, and legal support here. And what tools I would recommend using, like my tips, is to use Kijiji to check local rent comparables. What I didn't know when I just started is a great tool which is called DealCheck, a website. Um, and I would highly recommend everyone to underwrite the deals in DealCheck.
Okay.
Also, look at Facebook Marketplace and join New Brunswick investor Facebook groups. And also, like, it's a classic. It's really become a classic to
Mhm.
read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Bible of real estate.
Mhm. Uh, I read this book when I was in Kazakhstan for the first time in Russian. I
Really.
didn't understand it because I was like, everybody was telling Rich, read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I
Hmm.
was in Kazakhstan and I was thinking, okay, I need to read this book. Everybody reads, I need to read it too. I
Right.
didn't understand anything because I was in the wrong environment. I wasn't in North America.
Yeah.
So in 2020, when there was COVID, I was painting my second rental property, and I was listening to Rich Dad Poor Dad. And the moment when he said, "Your down payment like $5,000," and my down payment was also $5,000, and like I kept listening to this book, and that's how it helped me to shift my mindset.
Mm.
I found so many things related to myself on my
Yeah.
personal level. Like, I was so glad this person, Robert Kiyosaki, was sharing his journey,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he made such an impact on immigrant.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
a very, very interesting and a very valuable book for sure.
it is, yes. And also, of course, work with a realtor who understands investment properties, who understands local market. And yeah, that's my tips. Because even the market, rental market in Moncton, in Dieppe, and in St. John, and in Fredericton, it's different. The
Yeah.
market in each city, the market is individual.
Right.
Because I can tell that um, houses are cheaper in St. John, and rents are at the same level like in Moncton. But in
Mm.
Moncton, the house prices are expensive and the rent is cheaper. So let's run numbers where it is more profitable to buy rentals. So for
Yeah.
us, we found St. John is more profitable for us. Numbers were better for us in St. John, but in terms of having a better entertainment life, it's of course better here in Moncton because it's bigger,
Yeah.
it's closer to Halifax, and I see lots of future potential because Moncton is one of the fastest growing cities in Canada.
Love that. Love that. Very, very powerful and very insightful tips, solid tips. So
Yes,
thanks for sharing that. And yeah, I love that book as well. It's like I said, it's the Bible of real estate. And some of the terms and the definitions and things he talks about are more relevant in real estate. But the basics are same like all over the world, right?
hmm
Like technology, it changes over time. It changes very quickly. Every 3 years, 5 years, there's a new these things. It's the AI generation right now. Before that, social media was becoming more popular. Internet was a big thing at one time. So these things change, but real estate, the basics are same. Like they have been the same for like decades, if not centuries. And just to understand, it's just maths, right? It's basic numbers. You need to understand the numbers, and it's definitely a great book to check out if you haven't. So feel free to do that. Let's come to a fun segment. It's called myth or fact. So I'll give you a statement, Guldana. Just a fun real estate related statement, and then you have to just choose if it's a myth or fact based on your perspective. So are you ready?
yes, I am.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's the rents will always keep going up in Canada.
Mhm.
Is it a myth or fact?
So far, for the five past years, which I was living here, they are always going up.
Hmm.
So it is a fact.
Okay, love that. Love
Yes.
that. Right. Yeah, it tends to go up. That's what we see in history. Sometimes the market corrects itself here and there, and it's important as well. But that's what I see as well. That it's going upwards from when I have started living here. And just one last question to know about you. Like, I know you guys love traveling and exploring all different parts of the world. So, what are some places in your bucket list that you're looking to travel in the future?
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
a
one
tough
of
one.
yeah. That's one of the reasons why we decided to invest in real estate, because investing in real estate gives us freedom to travel and time freedom, and also
Mm.
it allows us, it supports us financially to do it because it's not cheap. Yeah,
Yeah.
and last year we were on a cruise summit at the sea in Florida, and we are planning to go there next year as well. And it's such a great networking opportunity to see what other investors are doing, and to interact with them on a personal level, and to see them in a casual environment, and just to make new friends. And I'm really excited that I uh, we decided to buy this uh, trip, like investment trip,
To the
and
cruise.
to the cruise. Yes, and in 2024 we were in Europe with our two children.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, we rented from a company, Road Surfer motor house, and we traveled across Europe for a month. We were staying in different cities, in different countries, and that was incredible experience. We took our children to Disneyland in Paris, and we see Italy, Colosseum, and like, yeah, I'm very thankful, and I'm very happy that we have this opportunity to be with our children and to show them the world. And uh, I'm pretty sure that we enjoyed with them, together with them. We enjoyed our time.
Very interesting how you mentioned the cruise, that it was a networking opportunity too. So
Mhm.
it's very interesting that you mixed two of your things, like you like traveling and you also like real estate, right? So you mix both the things, and now you're also traveling and also working on expanding your business. So that's a win-win, right? That's a very smart move, smart vacation hack for people. Yeah, thank you for sharing everything about you and your journey. I'm sure our listeners will have incredible value from that, and they might be interested to reach out to you and know more about you or maybe work with you. So, what's the best way to follow your journey, keep being updated, and to connect with you?
Yeah. Yes, Harshit, I'm really excited to be on your podcast, and thank you everyone for listening to my story. I hope it inspires someone out there to take action.
Hmm.
And I have a professional profile on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
My Facebook profile is like my full name, Guldana Sauranova, and my Instagram profile is Guldana Kairhankizi. And I also have Instagram and Facebook profiles for our company, Ede Realty.
Okay.
So yeah, if you are thinking about investing in New Brunswick, feel free to reach out to me, and I'd love to connect with you and help you to buy your first property, or just to take your first step or your next step. Like, always free feel to contact me.
And I'll also drop down the links for the tips that you mentioned, so people can check those out. But thank you as well to for the time, taking the time to connect and sharing the knowledge.
Thank you, Harshit. Thank you very much for having me.